welcome back to Feast or Famine with the Youngs. It's been quite a while.
We're the Youngs, in case you forgot.
Oh, yeah. I feel like there's this thing that is happening with us, which tends to happen a lot, where we take a break, and then we come back, and we take a break, and then we come back.
It's not planned. It just happens.
Yeah. So this is a leisure podcast, I would say. We do have a topic.
You mean this episode specifically?
Yes, this episode, sorry. We do have a topic, but...
I just want to say, this is technically season 2.
Yes.
This is technically the first episode of season 2.
Yeah. Welcome to 2022, guys.
But I'm not going to start the numbers over. I'm just going to continue the numbers because it doesn't sound bad. I don't want to put episode 1 of season 2.
Right. Yeah, we're not doing that. But yeah, we're officially in the new year.
Yeah.
It's February.
A little bit behind.
Yeah. I mean, where have we been, right? That's probably a big question.
Home.
Literally. Like we've just been home. I wish that we had something exciting to tell y'all, but
There's 10.5 inches of snow outside.
Yeah.
For some people listening, that's nothing.
I know. Yeah.
For others listening, they've never seen snow before.
Yeah. Or if you live in St. Louis like we do, it's going to be like 40 degrees tomorrow. So
Snow's going to be gone tomorrow.
We have way too much snow. It's not going to be gone tomorrow.
True.
It's going to be around for a while, unfortunately.
Our shovel broke.
It did. It did break.
So we may be interrupted by the shovelers guys that I just got to do our sidewalk.
Yeah. So let's do a little recap on like what we've been doing and why we haven't been podcasting.
Well, I don't know if anybody knows about this, but in 2020, there was this big thing that happened in the world that shut things down.
Okay,
and
where are you going with this?
it was called COVID.
Okay.
Yeah, and so weddings moved inadvertently.
You're being facetious.
I don't know if it's the right word usage.
Facetious?
Yeah.
Sarcasm?
I'm being sarcastic.
That's facetious.
I don't know if that's true. Anyway, we had a lot of weddings move from 2020 to 2021, so we already knew that there were going to be some just rollover busyness that we didn't have in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
What are you looking up?
What does facetious mean?
What does it
Treating
mean?
serious issues with deliberately inappropriate humor. I was right.
That is facetious. Facetious.
Yeah, anyway, Alex is pretty much just saying we've been working a shitload. Like, we've just been working a lot.
Yeah, basically where we would normally have had breaks,
We had none.
we didn't because we had moved weddings to those times so that we could still book our normal bookings.
So really it just came down to like the double and triple headers that really kind of put us behind. And so we've just been editing pretty much a lot, and that pushed everything else like the podcast and the YouTube channel on the back burner for a little bit. But
Because our paid clients had to
they take priority.
yeah.
For sure. But yeah, we're back. It's a new year, and what are we most excited for this year? What's something, I feel like the podcast itself and our YouTube channel is a huge part of our like goals for this year.
We have some we can't talk about.
Yeah.
But like this, I mean, I feel like I don't want to say we know what we're doing because we'll never know what we're doing when it comes to this podcast.
This is so true.
But we've sort of been doing it for a year.
Yeah.
Quote.
Yeah.
I mean, the length of a year, we haven't definitely done a year's worth of episodes.
If you're a routine listener, you know that this is the I Don't Know What I'm Doing podcast.
If you're a routine listener, you'll understand that how unroutine this podcast is.
That is so true. Yeah.
For the 6 of you that are out there.
Oh, shush. We have more than 6 listeners. I
hope so.
But I feel like, so the topic today, I'm looking at my phone because I want to make sure I'm reading this right. So the topic today kind of goes hand in hand with like why we haven't been doing this and kind of like where we have been like with our headspace.
It also kind of goes along with one of our last podcasts. The one that everybody's drowning.
Oh, yeah.
So go to that one and listen to that one if you haven't yet, and then come to this one. And
yeah. So we're talking about the importance of self-care / burnout, which I definitely hit a burnout. But mine wasn't as rough as yours, huh?
That was bad. I literally did burn out. Like,
Yeah.
the thought process came into my head. I said this in the last episode that I don't want to do weddings anymore because whoops.
My bad.
I don't want to do this editing thing anymore because I got to a point where I would spend all day, every day, including weekends, including holidays. I edited Christmas morning to get a film delivered. I edited on Thanksgiving to get a film delivered. We just haven't had any time off.
Yeah.
And when I'm literally going nonstop from like, when did this start? September?
I mean, when did what start?
Just like nonstop, continuous cycle.
I mean, I would say it kind of started at the end of 2020.
No, because we had a little bit of a buffer.
No, you're right. We had a break like in February because we went to Florida.
And we had a Colorado wedding. And
yeah. So yeah, maybe
like the craziness
I would
for
say,
editing
like September.
started around September. And from there, it was more of like a edit, deliver, immediately start editing again. And it's been like that for 5-6 months.
Yeah.
And that is that's ultimate, and that ultimately will.
Are you feeling like the weight being lifted a little bit?
A little bit, because my biggest thing is like I have all this list of things. I'm a list maker in my head, so like there's a huge list of tasks that I want to get done that are business related, that are not business related. And I have been able to get a few of those things done. Not even the business, like the stuff at home.
Yeah.
That's just been pushed off. I
feel like I'm glad you bring that up because I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily think about that like right away. You know, we're at home almost always. But just because we're at home, I would say actually the fact that we're at home almost all the time means that our house and home things get neglected because we're working.
And when we're done working, we don't want to do anything else.
Right. And we create our own schedules and we'll work until 8:00 and then we'll eat food and then watch TV and go to bed. Like,
and then start over again.
Yeah. So like things at home get neglected. So yeah, we did do a couple things the last couple days that were like actually we've needed to get done.
Right.
So that's good.
We got our cars in the garage before the
yeah, because our garage was like a mess.
It still is a mess, but
yeah,
everything we need to have in the garage is in the garage. Barely.
Yeah.
Barely. But we got stuff done. The dog poop got picked up.
Oh God, we're not talking about that on this podcast. But yeah, I feel like our burnout was like pretty bad. I had COVID like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so we started the year and we're like, okay, we have this plan to do this and this and this. We were going to come work on stuff here. And then Veronica got sick.
Yeah.
We're like, maybe it's a cold, but then it just didn't get better after a couple of days. So she went and got tested.
Yeah.
And then we were like, okay, guess we got to cancel everything we were going to do for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah. And it's kind of, that was definitely like the Lord's timing, honestly, because I was talking about how like I had made a Facebook post about like I desperately need a break, but every time I'm intentional about like walking away from my computer or like doing something for myself, I feel incredibly guilty because I have extra time to now work on things that have been put on the back burner because we were so overloaded with weddings, and now I have extra time, but now I don't want to do anything, right? So I was feeling like this, it's a power struggle always for people, in our situation, but I feel guilty when I'm not working, but when I'm working, I desperately need to not be working. It's just, I don't know. It's a hard thing. But anyway, I made a post about that, and then the next day I started feeling sick. Literally the next day. And I was like, man, I just don't feel good today. So I was like, okay, I don't feel good. I'll just rest today. And then the next day I felt worse and I went and got tested and I had COVID. So it was a forced break. But I will say it really helped because I didn't do anything. I just sat on the couch for a week straight.
It also can like has a lot to say about self-care.
Yeah.
And on one hand, if you don't practice self-care, it's going to affect your business. But also, if you're so consumed by what you're working on, you're going to neglect your self-care and then get sick.
Yeah. I mean, like, okay, let's get like really personal here for a minute, but like, how many times have you, you know, been like so focused on just getting a wedding done and you're like, wait, when was the last time I like showered? Like, do you know what I mean? Or like, when was the last time I like ate a real meal?
I'll work all day without eating.
I know you will. I have to like remind you. But like self-care, you know, like that it's so important because it affects every area of your life if you're not taking care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just feel better when I wake up and wash my face in the beginning of the day. But if I don't, I definitely feel it at the end of the day, you know?
Well, and there's a lot to be said about when you're taking care of yourself physically,
Mm-hmm.
it seeps into taking care of yourself mentally also.
Yeah.
And then when you're mentally taking care of yourself, it's going to affect your business and how you operate your business and how the work you put into your business is, what's the word? Is completed.
Yeah. I would say I already know like where your mind's going with this, so I'm going to go ahead and say it for you. We've always, both Alex and I, have always kind of been gym goers. We've always been active people who work out frequently. But we also, just like this podcast and I feel like everything else in our life, we tend to take breaks and then we get back to it and we go super, super, super hard and then we take a break.
I wouldn't even say we take a break. I would say it just.
But because we stop going, this happens.
Happens.
This happens with the gym specifically because we get busy with our job. Like words. This podcast, along with the gym, along with everything else, tends to get put aside when we're really, really busy with work.
Mm-hmm.
So where I'm trying to go with this is I know this and you know this, that like when we're actively working out in the gym at least 3 to 5 days a week, it motivates us to get started with our day. You know, we feel more accomplished because once you're done with the gym, you're like, okay, I've already accomplished something today. And it just motivates you to keep going.
Right.
And the gym is just self-care.
Right.
So were you thinking about that? Because I kind of figured you were.
Yeah, I didn't want to talk about it because I'm ashamed.
Because we haven't been in the gym in a long time.
It.
Yeah.
Shame.
But.
Yeah. So what? Where was I? Don't even. My brain isn't even working.
I know. I feel like I'm distracted by the snow. Honestly. That's pretty much it, though.
There's not a lot to say. Just like take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And don't make excuses, because it's very easy to get busy when you have a business.
I think the moral of the story is there's something to be said about feeling guilty for taking a break. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't, it's going to hurt every other area in your life, including your business. So
I think
take that break.
It's also important to know what you're taking a break from.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, for instance, we only took a break from the podcast and from going to the gym and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Not by choice, but because we decided not to take a break from the work.
Well, we couldn't.
Right.
We literally couldn't.
Because we set ourselves up like that.
Yeah.
And that was a stupid decision.
But some of that was out of our control.
Sort of, yeah.
I mean,
we could have been a little more proactive about certain things. But ultimately, the things you need to take a break from are, I don't know what I'm saying. Like going to the gym, I don't want to say I need a break from the gym.
Right.
Because that's not
what you need a break from.
What I need a break from. I need a break from the consistent just overworking myself.
The same task that you're doing every single day. Yeah.
I'm a robot.
Yeah. And you start to feel that way.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is why we're taking a vacation this month. We're going to Florida.
Away from the snow. I wish the snow would have waited.
I know. I was kind of like, I was hoping that was going to be the case, but it did not wait, guys. It came in full force.
Anyway, so what's to come this year? Guests. We're going to have guests.
Yeah, we're gonna have guests on this podcast.
We've been dealing with trying to figure out virtual guests, not digital. It is digital, but virtual guests.
Virtual. Yeah. I mean, we had a guest last year. We had Ben, but
We had guests last year in person.
yeah,
We're getting guests in virtual form.
yeah. So
So like
We're
we'll put
excited
a
for
little
that.
box like right here if you're watching with like their face, or maybe we'll just like do a cardboard green screen cutout like right here.
or probably just separate the screen.
Yeah, that's no fun. Green screen cardboard cutout.
Okay.
And we can put them on there so it looks like they're in the room with us.
No. That's weird. They would just be like a floating head, like all the way down here.
We can even make the cardboard cutout like put its arm around us so it looks like we're just
Yeah, but most people
pals.
listen. They don't go to where they don't. Some
Yeah,
people just watch on the
it's
YouTube
more
channel,
treat.
but
It's more of a treat. You tune in and you're like, oh my gosh, he's kind of there.
no, I don't think so.
Okay. But guests are coming.
Can you tell that we're like out of practice with this podcast?
We are
Good
out of
God.
practice 100% of the time with this podcast.
Yeah, but I feel like we get in on like a groove, but this time we're I don't know.
Groovy.
I don't know. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. How long we've been going?
I don't know. Hope that's not right. It says 30 minutes. We're trying to keep these under 30 minutes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. In a nutshell, take care of yourself, guys. Don't end up like us. Don't do what we do. As far as burnout goes.
I mean, you're going to burn out.
Yeah.
Just-
I mean, it's going to happen when you're an entrepreneur, but anyway.
Well, avoid it.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Take breaks. Don't feel guilty about it.
Do what I say, not what I do. I feel like a parent.
Okay. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Happy season 2.
Happy season 2. Sorry, this one was kind of like all over the place, but we're excited to be back. And
We'll see you next time.
yeah, we'll see you next time. Peace.